Time for today's business news now with Stephen Carroll. The price of Bitcoin has tumbled after one of the biggest champions pulled out his backing of the cryptocurrency.
Elon Musk, the CEO of electric car maker Tesla, says the company has stopped accepting payments in Bitcoin because of concerns over the environmental impact of the cryptocurrency. The price of Bitcoin had soared to record highs in recent months, helped in part by Tesla and Elon Musk's support. The company bought $1.5 billion worth of the digital asset in February when it announced it would start using it in transactions. Now, after Musk's latest move, Bitcoin's price has tumbled. It's down around 10%, according to the website CoinDesk, trading at just over $51,000 a piece. Yinka Oyatade has more on this story.
A U-turn from Elon Musk after the chief executive announced that his electric car maker company Tesla would drop plans to accept Bitcoin as payments for its vehicles. This over worries about the digital currency's impact on the environment.
We are concerned about rapidly increasing use of fossil fuels for Bitcoin mining and transactions, especially coal, which has the worst emissions of any fuel.
Back in February, it was a different story when Tesla announced it had purchased $1.5 billion of Bitcoin and that it planned to accept the currency in exchange for its cars. The backing sent the price of Bitcoin to record highs, but as it shot up in value, the amount of energy used to create or mine the digital currency came increasingly under scrutiny. Bitcoins are created by supercomputers solving complex math problems. Experts say this mining process consumes more energy than Sweden does in a year. Critics argue that Musk's support of the currency were at odds with the climate change concerns that underpin the existence of electric cars. The Tesla head says the company is now looking to other cryptocurrencies that consume less energy.
Well, meanwhile, Stephen, a sell-off on the stock markets continuing today, linked to those fears over inflation.
Consumer prices in the United States rose at their fastest pace since 2008 in April. The annual inflation rate was 4.2%. Compared to last month, prices were up by 0.8%. Now, this is the second month in a row that US inflation has been high, which has caused fears among investors that the Federal Reserve might rein in its stimulus of the American economy. Its mission is to target inflation at 2%. Now, we've seen slumps on the markets in recent days over this issue, but as those figures were announced on Wednesday, there were sharp falls on Wall Street. We can see the sell-off continuing on the European markets today. London, Paris and Frankfurt all down over 1% at the start of trading. Banks among the sectors seeing some of the pain there. Interestingly, shares in the British luxury firm Burberry are also down by 10%. That's after their latest results. That's despite it seeing a recovery in sales in recent months. We also had sharp falls across all of the main markets in Asia earlier today as well. The Nikkei in Tokyo down almost 2.5% at the end of the day, and that's also linked to those concerns over inflation in the US.
Well, meanwhile, Germany's financial regulator is stepping up supervision of the digital bank N26.
Yeah, BaFin has taken the unusual step of appointing a special supervisor to N26, which is one of Europe's most valuable fintech companies. It's also one of the fastest growing of the so-called neobanks, which operate online. It's got more than 7 million customers in 25 countries. Now, the German regulator says N26 needs to fix what it called deficiencies in its IT systems and improve its due diligence on its customers, as well as beefing up its money laundering controls. N26 says it's already massively advanced in that area, but did acknowledge that more needed to be done on monitoring transactions. It noted that criminal activity linked to online shopping had increased since the start of the pandemic.
And finally, from you, Stephen, a cocktail bar in Croatia has come up with some new creations to celebrate the COVID-19 vaccinations.
The Roots Bar in Zagreb has 4 new cocktails named after 4 of the jabs that people are getting to protect themselves against COVID-19. You can order your Pfizer, Moderna, AstraZeneca or Sputnik drinks at this bar. Each uses a main ingredient from their country of origin. So it's vodka for Sputnik, rye whiskey and Jägermeister for Pfizer, reflecting that German-American cooperation there. Gin for AstraZeneca, bourbon for Moderna. The bars in Croatia have only just recently reopened to serve outdoor customers after their COVID-19 restrictions were eased. Guests have their drinks served in a syringe and they get a stamp to say they have received their, quote, dose of the cocktail.
I wonder how many doses you're allowed of that.
Indeed, it should be pointed out it doesn't actually protect you against the virus. You still have to get the actual vaccine as well.
Shucks. Stephen Carroll, thanks a lot for that look at the business news.